What's up, you goons? It's Jacob here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about some of the key takeaways I got from the Glass City Marathon training block and the race itself as well, obviously. So yeah, just kind of reflecting on the race, and I think that that's really important as a runner is to reflect upon each of your races to see how it went, what things you could have done better, what things you thought went well, and your overall thoughts. So that's what I'm going to give to you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoy and get something away from this video more than just the surface level what I got from the race. So yeah, guys, having said that, let's get right into the video. I want to start off by talking about mileage. So that's definitely a good thing to reflect on is mileage. And for me, I felt that my mileage buildup was pretty solid. If you guys weren't aware, I peaked at 80 miles a week, and I held that for 4 weeks. Looking back on that, I think I probably didn't need to hold 80 miles for 4 weeks straight. I think holding peak mileage in a training block for more than like 2 or 3 weeks is a little bit over the top. So reflecting on that, I probably would have done another 75-mile week and then go 83 weeks in a row. But it's just how it happened. It still worked out, obviously, but I think in the future I would lean towards that. And in terms of peak mileage, I think in the future for a marathon training block, I could probably manage 85 to 90. Although granted, I would only do 85 or 90 probably 2 weeks, since it's getting up to pretty high mileage for me there. But yeah, 80 felt pretty comfortable. I wasn't like super dead any of the weeks where I was hitting 80 back to back, but yeah, I think maybe 85 or 90 could be what I do. Next thing we'll talk about is long runs. So I did 4 long runs over 20 miles in the Glass City Marathon training block. More specifically, I did a 20, 21, 22, and then a 23. So you know, I thought that was great. I thought it really helped prepare me for the marathon. For the York Marathon, my first marathon I ever did, I only did one 20-mile long run. The rest were under 20. So having done 4 long runs over 20 was huge. I found it to be greatly beneficial. I'd recommend it to any of you guys out there looking to do a marathon. I would definitely try to get at least 2 long runs over 20. I would lean towards 3 or 4. But yeah, I think I could probably do closer to 5 in the future. So maybe doing 20, 21, 22, 22, 23. I don't think you need to do more than one 23-mile long run. I thought that was pushing it as it is. I wouldn't do any more than that. I don't think it would help better prepare me for the race or anything like that. You're still gonna feel pain in those last 4 miles of the marathon, no matter how long you go in your long runs. So yeah, we talked about mileage buildup and peaking as well as long runs. Now I want to talk to you guys about workouts. So and general training plan structure. So with regards to workouts, I think that I probably would have liked to do closer to 13 to 15 miles at my goal marathon pace for my peak long run. So the last training block, Glass City, I did a 23-mile long run with 9 miles at marathon pace. Now the plan for that run was to do 8 to 10, and I did 9 just because I was cramping. I didn't want to do the next mile, but I wish I had, because going into the marathon on race day, it did still didn't feel fully comfortable doing that 5:40 to 5:45 pace range as I thought it would. So yeah, just bumping that up to 13 to 15 miles to really boost the confidence and make sure I'm feeling really confident going into the race. I think that would be really beneficial. Doing the 9 marathon pace still helped really build my confidence, but yeah, 13 to 15 is probably what I'm going to shoot for in future marathon training blocks. Just to, knowing that I can do at least half the race at my marathon pace in a practice run where I'm doing 23 miles, I think that would be huge for me. And notably, I would do a substantial warm-up for this so that I kind of simulate race day. So I would do 8 to 10 miles already before going into that 13 to 15 at marathon pace. All right, guys, so we talked about long run workouts. Now I want to talk to you guys about the phases of the training plan, the structure. So with regards to the structure, if you guys didn't know, I structured my training plan so that I had the speed phase and then the marathon prep phase. The speed phase was 5K, 1 mile, 5K, 10K training, and as well as maybe a little bit of half marathon training. And then the marathon prep phase was solely for the marathon. So that's really where I started to incorporate these marathon pace, longer marathon pace efforts, sustained efforts. And I think that in the future, maybe I would flip those around. So having the speed phase last, but instead of having just 2 speed workouts a week during that speed phase, I would still have 1 marathon pace workout in each week. And this would just mean that I'd get more workouts at the marathon pace than I had for the Glass City Marathon training block. And I think that this might just help me feel more comfortable coming into race day at the goal marathon pace, because like I said earlier, I didn't feel fully comfortable at that pace. So I think maybe switching that, and I don't think speed is super important for a marathon, like doing like 200s, 400s, 800s, up to 1K. I don't think that is as beneficial as doing a lot of your work at your tempo, half marathon pace, and marathon pace, at those paces. So that was my thought process, was maybe flipping those 2 critical phases, so that it was the marathon prep phase first and then the speed phase, might just allow me to get more marathon pace workouts in and make me feel more prepared for race day. So that's how I felt about that. Also, with regards to training structure, I think that I probably could have incorporated more hills into my workouts. Even in the later stages of training, I just think it's a good idea to try to get hills into your runs, just to prepare just to give you pretty much strength in your legs and make you feel more strong on race day. Because I think that even though there wasn't many hills at Glass City, obviously Toledo is a pretty flat area, and the race itself was very flat as well, there was still some rolling hills, and I think that having done some hill work before then could have really helped me feel stronger on those uphills. So yeah, I think that maybe in the future, even if it's a flat race, I think doing uphill repeats is greatly beneficial to building your strength, and that's something that they always tell you to do in summer training, in those when you're just base building, to do hills to build strength. So I think that's what I will also look to do in the future. Also, I think I'd probably consider doing more fartleks, including a very long fartlek within a long run. I did really like the fartleks I did in the training block, and I felt like they were really beneficial, and maybe I'll show you guys some of those fartleks just on the screen here as I'm talking to you guys about them. But I think I could maybe do more, since I just liked them so much and they were enjoyable to me, because I think it's important when you're training for a race to enjoy the workout, to enjoy what you're doing, because otherwise it's just not worth it. So maybe doing more fartleks would be a good thing, because I love tempos, and I always love doing tempos, but I think fartleks could be a new addition to future training blocks, because it's really fun. I just enjoy them. Yeah, it's good. It's important to enjoy what you're doing. And the last thing I'll say with regards to nutrition on race day is I think it could be good in the future to have 3 Ciscos. So I have the Cisco sports gels or whatever. I'll put an image of them on the screen here, but they're what's the word? Isotonic gels? That might be the word. It's a lot of water in there, so it's not, you can have it without water, and you don't need water to chase it down, unlike a lot of the other gels on the market, like the honey stingers, which I also had on race day. So I did 2 Ciscos and 2 honey stingers on race day, but I think that the honey stingers were kind of causing cramps a little bit, because at one point I had one without any water, and that kind of resulted in cramping. So I think in the future, it could be good to have 3 Ciscos, because those weren't causing any issues with my stomach. So yeah, and only 1 honey stinger. So yeah, guys, those are kind of the main takeaways I took from the race day. I actually created a document on it and to reflect and try to learn from this experience. And I think that I really took away a lot from reflecting on the race and how it went. And I just listed off to you guys some of the main takeaways I got from the race. I didn't really tell you much about what I thought I did well, but I'll just tell you that real quick right now, that I thought what I did really well was being consistent. So there was never a workout day where I didn't come through and have a decent workout. I had good workouts all the time, and I kept at it every week. I did 2 workouts every week, as well as the alternating long run workouts. So I was really consistent in terms of workouts and long runs, and I thought that the mileage buildup was strong as well. I don't think I overdid the mileage buildup at the beginning. And I thought I handled that well as well. And I thought that the workouts themselves were good as well. I wouldn't change what workouts I did, although, like I said, I would consider incorporating more hills into workouts. Most of my workouts were done on the Shenley Oval, which is a pretty flat area. But yeah, so I would say mileage was good, mileage buildup was good, workouts were good. I was happy to have done 4 long runs over 20 miles. Sorry guys, I'm just looking at a document here to make sure I'm hitting everything. Nutrition, water consumption was good on race day. I really wouldn't change anything about that, other than maybe taking 3 Cisco's instead of the 1 Honey Stinger like I mentioned before. So yeah, I think that it was a great training plan, the structure of it as well. You know, making your own training plan, it's a little bit of a mystery as to how it's going to go, especially coming from me, who I'm not like a professional coach or anything, but I am like a coach to myself, in that I created the whole training plan on my own, and I compiled all of the workouts myself. So I'm really happy to have seen that pay off, even though I was a little worried at first, because, you know, not having a coach, it can be a little bit mysterious, or a little bit of an unknown as to how it's going to pay off, since you're not maybe doing things necessarily at a professional level. But yeah, it went really well, so I'm really happy with how I created the training plan and all the structure of it as well. So those are some things that I thought I did well in this training block, and I already mentioned to you guys what I think I could have done better. So that is how I reflect after a race, and this is kind of the first time I've really done a lot of reflection after my race, and I think that that's key to growth as a runner, is to always reflect after your races, like I've mentioned before. So be sure to do that. Think about what you've done good, what you've done bad, what you think you could have done better. All of these things are going to help you guys to become better runners in the future, and really to develop further. So yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and me reflecting on the Glass City Marathon training block, as well as the race, all that as a whole. And if you did, be sure to share the video around, you know, let your friends know my channel, and, you know, appreciate subscribing or liking the videos. Those are great ways to support the channel and help me to get out these videos for you guys. So I hope that you're enjoying everything on my channel though, and I'll see you guys in the next video.